This is my updated list after the Pro Tour. Pretty similar to what I played at the Pro Tour. Hello, Blue Sky. So at the PT, I didn't have the Timebinder in the main. I had a third lockdown. I was playing Destroy Evil over Get Lost, but I want to try Get Lost. And I was playing Free Sunfall and No Farewell, which was probably a mistake. And then the mana, I basically cut one of each basic, added an extra dual land, archive, and added the force field of Aren, so we'll see. Yes, phone. I'm good. My friend is playing 4 Dust Animus in the side. What do you think? I didn't test the cards, but I'm gonna test it now and I'll tell you what I think. I think it sounds pretty good. Hey Shuji, hey Spectre. Salut Mika. Hey Kenzo. And the sideboard, I'm trying some new things. Yeah, I'm trying the Dust Animus. At the PT, I was playing one of the 4/4 Angels that decks up, playing Lifelink first struck, I think. Had a third no-cat blow, but only one flanker, and I have 2 flankers. Had a third lockdown in the main, so now there's in the sideboards. Had the 1 LH, I only had 1 C double. I'm gonna play 2 since the main won the PT, and that card's really good against the main, I think. And what did I cut? Cut a couple knockout blows at 3 at the PT. Go down 2-1 and see what happens. Not exactly sure what else. And I decided to take the green cards, even though Wily Duke is the 4/2 vigilance, really strong in white-green. And then after making that pick, I got past Wily Duke and Harvester of Misery in the same pack. So now I had the choice between, like, I had to decide if I want to be white-green was Wily Duke or kind of stick to black-green, which I had more cards for. And I took the Wily Duke because I was like, maybe the Otterworld table, and both green and white were open in pack 1. I think that was a bad pick, though. But my deck still ended up pretty strong. Hey, Bobsy. Hey, happy anniversary to us. Thanks for the resub, bud, and looking forward to your charity stream this Thursday. Did I cut Celestis for time considerations? So I ended up cutting Celestis because I was just trying to streamline the deck and I was looking for cards to cut. I don't have a great reason for it. I think Celestis is a fine card. I just didn't think it made... I just felt like it was like a luxury more than a necessity, but maybe it was just silly. Maybe Celestis is just too good not to play at least one of. You think Celestis is too good not to play Macklin Sauce? Hey Macy, hey Goat, hey Biano, hey everyone. You managed to queue for the next PT. I was already queued and I haven't had to use my Hall of Fame invite either. I am not queued for Worlds though. I think if I had gone 10-6 or 11-5, I would have had enough wins to already be qualified for Worlds. But unfortunately I didn't. Valencia streak is alive. Oh, next Friday. I thought it was Thursday and Friday. It started on Thursday. It's actually kind of an interesting spot. Okay, so the way this matchup works is you just deal with all their threats, basically. And you don't want to take too much damage from their creatures, because if you start taking damage from their creatures, then they can finish you up with angels and stuff.
I'm not overconfident. You're just underwhelming.
So I don't know, maybe this is Fury.
We must
Might be clicking buttons here.
years of
Is the world still only for 24 players? No, it's like last year they were like it was more or less 128. And it's about the same size this year.
Welcome back.
My thanks. Welcome back, everyone. Glad to be back. So yeah, so basically game one. I guess I'll take a hit here and just farewell. Game one against the stock list, all you have to do is just kill all their stuff. You have enough removal to do that. And you just have to be careful not to get got by the haste knights. Was herd migration. One thing they can do, it's not trivial for them to set it up.
I've learned much during my travels.
But they can herd migration, and if you don't counter it, they can play a cavern on human and play the Immodane's recruiter on counter roll and kind of one-shot you. Other thing they can do is just put a cavern on angels, cast that one like 4 times, and does just 16 damage of on-counter roll damage. So the Timebinder can help. Also Jace, milling their last 15 cards help. Makes it less likely to set up their combo. So here, I guess I'm just happy to use... Get Lost is fine here. Played Destroy Evil at the PT, which is a little nicer in this matchup. Because, yeah, Destroy Evil is the best removal against the deck. It kills all their creatures, it kills all their enchantment. You don't give them anything, but giving them 2 maps. They draw so many cards, it doesn't matter that much. Did I like my deck choice for the PT? I love my deck choice for the PT. It was really good. It did the best. Blue-White Control. Out of decks that were played by more than 2 or 3 players, it did the best. And it was just, yeah, it was just really good. I wish I played better. I felt like I ran well enough that if I played better, I would have top 8'd. I thought that if I played as well as I played in Chicago, I think I would have top 8'd. I think that was my worst play in a long time. I don't know why. I don't know if that was like a lack of sleep or not in the right physical conditions, just random variants of not, I don't know, just stupid mistakes. But
I guess that's...
Which other decks did you consider? Not a ton, honestly. I just was doing well with Blue-White the whole time. I never really considered anything. I was interested in some of my teammates' deck. I thought they were like quite good, but just take the land here. Take the counter, take the lands. Always make your land drops with this deck and should be fine. I really like the look of the Golgari list my teammates played by the end, but they kind of made all the changes at the last minute or in the last couple days. Basically, they didn't like the bats in black-green because they're pretty good in Esper because you got Rafine and the Snowball, but in black-green they're not as good. So they ended up cutting all the bats and playing Duress and Bronco main deck. And I like the idea in theory, and it did work out really well for them. It was good. Hey, Newman, thank you for the prime sub. Welcome to Sewer. Oh.
the edge in this fight. Show them how we greet our enemies. Always glad. I would run if I were you.
Yes, President Macron, he asked a bunch of annoying questions as usual. Alright, how are we dealing with that angel? Just get lost again? No. So this is like, I think this is gonna be like textbook game one against the stock domain list, where as long as you're making your land drops and you don't stumble, you just kill all their stuff and you just deck them. Rujan, welcome to the sewer. Thanks for your Prime sub. I guess I should have maybe countered that. Hey, Kekiki. Alright, let's see. Violet questions. Did I try blue-black? I did not. We had one last week than usual, and I basically never really lost was blue-white. I was doing really well in testing. And I had previous experience was blue-black being really bad against Convoke. And I was not that impressed with it. So I decided to just focus on blue-white. But it's possible blue-black is better. Unlikely, but possible. What was your reasoning for not giving into Esper mid-range? I was just winning with blue-white, basically. I thought blue-white was fine. Didn't end up doing that good. I guess people were just way too ready for it. But... yeah, basically the answers to all these questions were I was just winning a lot with blue-white.
May your blade strike true.
But yeah, people were gunning for Esper and Esper. I know it didn't do well on day one. I'm not sure how I ended up doing overall. Do you prefer playing Stand on Arena, or is it just have a long time queues? I don't get to play Arena a ton, so I like to play Stand on Arena when I can, because I know people enjoy it. I think it's nice. You can change your list like every match if you want, which is nice. So I like, there's a few things I like about playing Standard on Arena, I guess. But I might play some prelims on Magic Online. I might even play some challenges. I usually don't play a ton of Standard on Magic Online, but I might.
I'm never done.
How's the Storm matchup?
How's the Storm matchup? What's up, King? It already attacked, right? So technically I could let that resolve and just find a sweeper. Then worst case have lockdown. Better resolve. So I don't have to worry about Cavern or Recruiter. Just flashback village. What's up, King? Thanks for the 61 months. There's a Sunfall, there's a Jace, they have 25 cards left. Let's stack this. I mean, I've only played that matchup 3 times game one, like 3 game 1s, twice in testing and once at the PT. And it's gone well every time. It's gone that way every time, basically. So I think it's like just pretty realistic that you always get them. I wrote about it in my guides. I mentioned how for some reason blue-white becomes really popular. They could just, because they see most of their decks. If they just had like a couple duress, I could see that being an issue. Maybe 2 duress is not even enough. But yeah, this matchup has seemed like pretty easy. I know Utah lost in the finals. I think his list is just worse, honestly. In the matchup anyways. Maybe it's a bit better against Esper. But yeah. Like he didn't have C double, he didn't have as many sweepers. He was bringing the horror, but horror sucks against binding. Horror has always sucks against people with bindings in their deck. I mean, it can help, but maybe I should have just fought over it, just finished the game. Salut Bondi. Let's not just do that now. Well, not. Why not? No PKS.
I'll take note of all your failures.
How did you see your game plan against 4-color legends? And how far do you think the matchups were? We didn't test that matchup at all. I think we tested 4-color legends, and I tested blue-white, but I think we played that matchup 0 times. I was worried about it because I didn't have Farewell in my deck at the PT. I think you're probably fine. I think Sev beat it once. I think the win rate said that blue-white did okay against blue-white did okay in that matchup overall, so but I'm not 100% sure either. I could kill them, I guess I could just feeling lazy about clicking. How did testing for standard PT with so many cards in standard feel? Oh, same as usual, I guess. There was 1 less week, so that was different, but you know, the top decks, you know, the new set had some pretty good cards, but it was still pretty unlikely it was going to change a ton of things. I guess you could argue 3 steps ahead had quite the impact.
That's that.
The thing that changed a lot is that we had 1 less week than usual, which meant we had to spend less time on new cards and new decks. We had to dismiss stuff faster, even though they might have been good, because we didn't want to waste too much time on bad decks. Did I test cage decks? We did. We had white-green, kind of what Kibler played at the last Pro Tour, just white-green brawler, you know, token with cage, and that deck looked decent. What other cage decks did we have? I forget. Oh, yeah, we did add a few cage decks. Is there a reason we'll never feel ever? I'm just clicking buttons. This game's like super over. Just more focused on answering questions from chat than playing that game optimally. Were there any cool decks that maybe you would have played if you had more time? I don't think so, but there were some cool decks. I mean, there's a bunch of different the Legends decks. I don't know. I never had time to try Grixis midrange. Archie's, that's kind of a cool card. There's some decks. I can't remember now exactly, but that one does Animus in this matchup? Probably not. I think you just cut. So what I put in my guide is I cut one Sunfall and one of each of the spot removals. Oh, no, I cut the Jace too, I think. Wait, did I keep both Sunfalls? Yeah, I think the sweepers are better than a spot removal. It's possible you even one dip up late, but I am bringing my own creatures, so sweepers get a little worse. Let's try this. Hey, only just returning to MTG from a long break. Do you write anywhere like you used to? Nah, I don't write much. I recommend checking out Channel Firewall though. Their content is free right now. Current articles, old articles. I don't know, I get anxious about writing and it stresses me out, so I don't write anymore. I did just post a deck guide and a sideboard guide in my Discord for the subs. But no, I don't write anymore. Alright, Gizmos. Analysts seem very good. Did it do that well though? Analyst is a strong deck. What do you think about Nathan falling off the PT circuits? Honestly, I'm not too sure what to think about it. It is really weird. I agree that someone who's been that dominant and done so well can fall off just, what was it, like 2-bet tournaments in a row only? No, he had to have 3-bet tournaments in a row. It's tough because part of me feels like if you're really one of the like, oh, I could have countered that, but whatever, it's fine. If you're one of the very best, it's really hard to fall off because maybe I'm just very lucky, but I see the results I have was the way I play, and I feel like I make a ton of mistakes. And I still manage to do quite well, but it's also, I don't know, Nathan's obviously extremely good, and I'm sure he's been playing better than I have, and he's managed to like not do well and fall off, so I'm not too sure what to think. Kakaki asked if variance happens. Variance happens, but I think I've said that many times on my stream. I think there's very little variance in Magic. And I think if anyone saw Autumn's post on Twitter, he kind of says the same thing. And I agree. I kind of agree with her. Like, I think people are not, even the players at the Pro Tour are not good enough that if you're actually like insanely good, you can make up the variance. But obviously, like, you know, it's possible there is still variance, and maybe Nathan got the like very, 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 you know, bottom end of it or whatever you want to call it. What's going on here? Wandering Emperor. Yeah, I kind of blew it. Not countering her in migration or just a huge font. I was not really paying attention. That was bad. Doesn't that kind of depend on the format too? I mean, sure, there's like, you know, a 12 block standard is harder to, that Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, the answer is always it depends. It's tough though, like where do you draw the line, you know? Like you just start making exceptions for people just because they've been dominant for a bit and all right, I'll take the hit and see what happens. There's certainly an argument to be made that the best players will stick around Gab Nielsen Dominguez. Well, now you're just being like result oriented, right? Like I don't count because I literally have a Hall of Fame invite, so that's different. Even though I haven't had to use it, but and then you say Nielsen Dominguez, but that could literally have been like, I mean, that could be Simon in like free tournaments or whatever. You know, I don't know. It's just I don't know. Maybe that was not really well put, but could it be that the PTs are too small? Well, same thing, you gotta draw a line at some point. If you make them way too big, then the prize money gets diluted, and then people complain about that. It's like, this game's not going very well. I'll just take it. Yeah, I should kill one. Ken says, where do you draw the line? If you improve the system for people like Nathan, it will just cement the player base against the PT. Yeah, you want some turnover, right? I mean, that's literally what people were complaining about the MPL. It was just everything for just a few people, and that was not good. This is probably going to get negated, but... The problem, the way I see it, is there, you know, the money Wizards is willing to invest is, I guess, somewhat finite. And there's, you know, you can't just magically stretch it, so... Let's say go. Just chump on both. So they can kill both my Tidebinders and just kill me. Does feel like I kind of dug myself into a hole this game. My draw was a little awkward. Also, I have to peel over into Canada here. It's a miracle the PT is even a thing. Maybe, I don't know. Is Watsy able to issue invites to people that do well at bigger legacy face-to-face or SCG events? I mean, why would they do that and not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? And I have no more lives mana. Angel is probably still lethal. The issue is the lack of ways to queue. No, the issue is that there's just so many slots, and why not Magic Online? You know, why not this? Why not mean, it doesn't make sense. The issues are like they want to keep the PT at a reasonable size. I mean, you could argue that's not the right approach. That the PT should be like 1,000 players, and the price will like be diluted. But if you assume you want to keep the PT at 300 players around that, then you just have to like carefully not give away too many invites, or else it just blows out of proportion. So Chris, I can talk a bit about that. Chris Carty says, I think they need to increase the amount of invites for the Pro Tour because having a 207 person 500k seems like there could easily be more events given out. So their goal was to have the PT size around 300s. And what happened is that a lot of the same players top-aided the first few PTs. And the same way, I guess, giving too many invites. So basically, if you aim for 300 players at the PT, if you start giving even up like a few extra invites, like these 4 extra invites was their system of like adjusted match points and stuff, that turns into like, you know, maybe 8 more players at the next one, then 12, you know, it's like, and then within 2 years, you're back at like 500 player PT, and they didn't want that. And I think what happened, what I was talking about, it was Huey. I think he's okay if I talk about it. I don't think it's like secret or anything. What happened is that the kind of the reverse happened. They had not expected, you know, a few players, you know, like the same few players top-aided the first few PTs. So, you know, it went the other way around, kind of, if you understand what I'm trying to say. But, and I guess that's one of the reasons why they added some slots to, I know only the US and the European RCs. There's also like deferral, people deferring their invites. There's a few things, but basically, quote unquote, everything that went wrong went wrong, and that's why this PT only had 207 players. And when I say wrong, it's like, you know, not a big. I don't think, anyways, it's that big of a deal. You know, it's like, you know, if any, you know, it was good for some people and it was bad for others, but basically all their kind of projections went on the low end, and yeah, that's why that PT was so small. Do I want to use 3 steps ahead? They have Cavern. They don't have a Cavern on Angels. Just use my negate. I'm playing in Amsterdam. I am, yeah. I think I need to just day 2 to make Worlds. So hopefully I can do that. I'm actually running out of cards, maybe a big word, but I don't have a card drawing spell. Did I lock in a deck for Amsterdam? I don't know, but these Modern Horizon cards look like they might be pretty wild. I should have attacked with an Anchorage last turn. There's no reason not to. If you're wondering why I'm playing the way I'm playing, just more focus on chat right now. Attack was both. 3, 4, 5. Oh, gosh. Would there not be a Bloom Bar PT? That's a good question. I guess not, because the next one is Modern Horizon. Maybe the draft will be... No, that makes sense. No, it would probably be like Modern Horizon free draft and then Modern PT. I don't know when Bloom Bar comes out. Is Worlds maybe Bloom Bar, or like Worlds going to be the one after that, probably? I think it was the same as last year, right? Alright, yeah, I mean... Matchup has felt... I mean, I could still lose this game. I could maybe...
I have got new moves to teach you.
Oh, no, I have Tidebinder for Angel. I was gonna say maybe I should kill my own creatures to go back up to 6 life. And not lose to Cavern plus... Field of Cavern. It's on Dino. I mean, I could, I guess. I'll counter that. I'll let them get back in the game. I know there's a lot of different versions of blue-white. I do feel somewhat strongly about my version, even though it's like not super different from others, but like we were playing more sweepers. I think sweepers are just like pretty good in this format.
Guards, to me.
We're playing 27 lands. Utah was playing 28. Talked about some of that stuff in the guide. I think 28 is okay. I think 26 is one too few at least. I tried 26, 27, and 28, and I guess I like 27 the best. How do you feel about card choices after the PT? Any changes you'd like to make if there was another center in this weekend? I mean, you're looking at it. I think, funnily, Seth played a better version than me, even though I kind of tested the deck and he got the list from me, but I made some changes at the last minute. Like, I cut the farewell for first Sunfall. I don't think I got really punished for it. Maybe I did. I mean, it's hard to say, but what's time a problem for blue-white? Not for me, but neither Seth or I got a draw. I got some matches if it had gone differently or if there was been a third game. I beat Domain 2, if there's a third game, maybe we draw. I mean, for sure, I ran good in that sense a bit. But I was also playing very fast, I think. What is my opinion on Myrics and blue-whites? So I had it at first, and it never came up, but I was also only playing against mid-range and aggro. Other people were just playing bad mana bases with too many colorless lands and not enough dual lands and not playing Seachrome Coast and stuff. Did I try Timeless? No, I haven't played Timeless in a while. What am I up against? White black. As per matchup, game one's quite good. Sideboard is a little tough. Actually, I will say I went 1-2 against Esper and 0-1 against the mirror midrange at the PT, but I think blue-white did pretty well overall. I also like played really poorly. I threw away a lot of games at the PT. It was really bad. It was my worst tournament in a long time. Did I already do your one planes? Let's play 2 basics. Handshake only had 1 basic. It's all surprising to me. Kanyan like draw 2 was 3 steps ahead here. This game I might be in trouble. They might get just a ton of cards from from the fairy. Sushi, I mean, depends. This game might be tough. It might not always be the end of the world, because they don't always have a ton of interaction to draw into, because they have so few counters in game 1.
You protect my people. This is what you get for hurting my people.
Did you have any sick bombs in your draft decks? Not in the first draft. I had no rares. I did have the 2 best uncommons though. I had the 7/7 reach wards. My card's a pain too. And I also had the 3/5 Sphinx. Second draft, I had more good cards. I had the Wily Duke. Second draft, I had a pretty strong deck. I do have lockdowns in my deck. I'll just counter so I'm not under like too much pressure, and actually I like a turn or two to set up a sweeper. Given that the main won the event, do you think it's better than people give it credit for, or is it just a phenomenal pick for the weekend? I'm not sure how to answer the question. I think we thought the main was an okay deck. I'm gonna do that on the off chance they either drew their basic Kalons or are not playing one. But maybe I should just sack a clue. It says our open deck list is pretty nice. Okay, maybe I have the basic. That's a good draw, obviously. Oh, I am gonna lose my clues. Oh, I'll have Deluge, it's fine. Was Reed's Golgari deck a good deck or a Reed deck? I like the look of it, and it sounded good in theory, the Duress and Bronco builds, because they were not liking the bats. And they had a pretty good record. They had like one of the best records in the tournament. Obviously, like, you know, the players playing the deck were good, etc. It's always the same thing, but I like the look of their deck. Maybe I should have deduced first, actually. Let's just see if I draw something. It doesn't fall. But it's hard to know these days. Like, the cards are so good. You know, Duress Bronco didn't make sense to me. But maybe it's just underpowered. Turns out it was not. There's even that white black deck that kind of did well. Was playing for Bronco. So no, I think their deck was legitimately good, I guess. Code doesn't have ward, right? No. I'd like some, I don't know if it's anti-control tech or what, but
Morning, Gab.
aggro.
Jarvis Clap, hope you're having a good one.
Hey Jarvis, 60 months? Wow, 5-year anniversary, no big deal. What's up, Jarvis? Hope rest of your weekend was good. Jarvis was undercover qualified at the PT. I don't even think I was really aware. Or maybe I was and I forgot. But... I'm gonna wait a turn and
How was weekend?
play around no more lives, I guess. Hey, it was fun. I played like trash. I wish I played better. But besides that, it was a good week on tournament. Alright, hopefully they don't also have like could have main deck Urtai. You could even have a main deck counterspell, I guess. The list does look a little different. So what do I want? Just enchantment creature. Yeah, I can't believe I cut the farewell for third Sunfall, honestly. That's such a spew. Oh. Oops. Awkward. I'm just dead. If they have so how's the Esper matchup? That was embarrassing. Oh, that's silly. Obviously, I could have get lost data. Could have just get lost the wedding announcement and just got rid of the creatures, and it would have been just fine.
The next label play. The next label play.
What an idiot. Sideboarding's tricky. Most of your cards are pretty good. I want to get rid of the Get Lost and do one negate, one Tidebinder. Not sure about the Jace. Jace probably not great either. Bird Lockdown. Oh, I want to try Dust Animus actually. I want to see if Dust Animus works. Could depopulate. I even brought in Knockout Blow against one of my Esper opponents at the PT because they had a list that was a little different. They were playing no enchantment, only one Planeswalker, almost all creatures, and they had Nathan in their deck and Preacher and stuff, so I thought Knockout Blow made sense. How's the jet lag? It's fine. I actually slept a lot on the plane. Because I didn't sleep much on Saturday night. We went out drinking. I got pretty drunk. It was fun though. We had a good time. So I only slept 5 hours, so I was pretty dead, and I slept. It was like the perfect flight. I got on the plane. I watched Godzilla versus Kong. It was very good. They fed me, and then I just slept, and I woke up with 1 hour left on my flight, on a like 9-hour flight or whatever. And last night I made it all the way to midnight. I was actually writing my guides, and I woke up at 8 this morning. Just professional sleeper over here. Teach me the power to sleep on planes. I've been struggling lately to sleep on planes. Hasn't been like my standard, but yeah, no, this time went well. During the plane to Canada, I watched Barbie, then Oppenheimer. I did that, I did that last time. I watched both these movies on my way to Chicago. movie review. Kong versus Godzilla. I don't know if it's how many of these movies has there been. I've never seen a Kong or a Godzilla movie. I think consensus was that this one was really good, right? I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Oppenheimer isn't a great plane movie. I thought it was really good even on the plane. Siphon inside, damn. They came ready. Two cloaks in the main, siphon inside in the sideboard. Have I watched Godzilla -1? No. Have I seen Fallout? No. Is that a show or a movie? I got my archive, that's not too bad. It was on 8. Yeah, I heard good things about it, right? Alright, so my reasoning for Animus in this matchup is sometimes they play a little too reactive, and that can punish them and also kind of out-tempo them. So, trying it out, see how it goes. Yo, Edgar, what's up? Thanks for the resub. Edgar's got his... Edgar's a fellow Canadian. He's got the RC this weekend. Not sure there's another RC in another region anywhere. Kind of want to let them have Rafine, honestly. It's that big of a deal right now. Let's field over in there, field over in. Shogun, yeah, I've heard good things. There's like a bunch of good shows right now. Sounds like big weekend, I know. Is this close similar to what you played last weekend? It is. It is pretty close. I made a few changes. I'm trying discarding my sideboards. You can check my list on MTG Melee. If you can find a Pro Tour on Melee, you can like check the list too. Not a bad spot to... I don't think I'm scared of any creature, really. I think this is a pretty good spot for a little card advantage. Yeah. I don't post a ton in the sub-content, but I did this time. If you don't want to sub, you can also just send me $5 or €5 on PayPal. I didn't want to charge too much because, I don't know, it's not like super detailed guide like some people have like 20 pages guides. But, yeah. And obviously, you know, even if you're a sub and you feel that that content's like super valuable to you and you end up playing the deck in RC and doing well with it or whatnot and you want to donate more, it's obviously appreciated too. Done a Sunfall just for Rafine. Just save my Wandering Emperor for after. No, I'll cash in my and I still have Time Binder mana up.
My judgment is fine.
There's good info in there. Probably not for you. I don't know if... I'm not sure you learned anything, but... well, never know. Oh. Somehow I never thought about just countering the map trigger. Maybe that's just a better play. It is kind of worse if they have a removal spell here specifically. For some reason, I don't know if it didn't come up in testing or I just didn't think about that play, but another thing that didn't come up in testing and I didn't know after the PT is that apparently if you Timebinder a battle, I think it happened in the finals of the PT or something. If you Timebinder a battle, it just dies. And I did that at the PT, and I didn't know. My opponent, I guess, didn't know, and he actually flipped the battle too. It didn't matter, I won the game, and I'm not even sure it was that great for him to flip the battle, but... yeah. It shouldn't happen very often, because I think the domain player should just always board... It's like literally their worst card against someone who has Tidebinder. Because at least Stomper, you keep a 4-4, Traxa, you keep your 7-7, you know, so... But... Battle it's like literally just counters it, so it's just atrocious. What's the play here? Maybe pots? With that. I don't think you should have shield right against blue-white after sideboards. Especially against my list with like 16 trillion sweepers. Like it's like pretty weak. Yo, Ivonix, thank you so much for the tier 1. Welcome to Sewer. Oh, the winning list had 0 battles whatsoever? Oh yeah, right. Kind of forgot about that. That's orange. You won it all. I don't know, Stomper battle's still pretty strong, but it is somewhat easy to disrupt, I guess.
Remember your training.
You didn't call a judge to confirm the battle Timebinder interaction? I didn't even think about it. I didn't even think it could do that for some reason. It's not great in hindsight. Didn't even cross my mind for some reason. Chris, I'll just DM you. I'll just DM you the link. Obviously, try not to share the link with people who are not sub or stuff. You know, I mean, it's not a big deal, but I feel like should go without saying. Chris, how do you spell your name? Just Chris Cardi. Works of Saga. Yeah, I knew that if you Tidebinder the last thing of a Fable, it just bids it and stuff. I just never had it come up in on Knockout Blue against a specific list. It is kind of nice against Fairy. And for Get Lost. On more lockdown for some reason. Maybe I think I overrate Tidebinder a bit in this matchup. Mengu played a different domain list in the PTQ as a cornucopia. Yeah, that's the Italian list from Mistrati. Looks cool. Showed us the Populate plus Tishana in flipped Gobakan play was so satisfying to watch. And then he just like countered the sack of the Gobakan. Yeah, Tidebinder is just awesome right now. It's like... oh, don't want to plug that now. If I don't do it now, you're gonna go like make a 2/2 or fairy. If they have wedding, I guess I have lockdown for the first wedding token. Cornucopia look good. Yeah, I mean, Cornucopia is the kind of card, it's like Celestis. If there's no splash damage, if there's no, like, too many cards like Frillback where you get randomly hosed, you know, they randomly have access to artifact removal and stuff. It is, like, pretty sweet. Fiend's not ideal. This game's gonna be tough. Did Omen Path and Cornucopia come up during testing? I don't remember. What's Omen Path? The one where you get 7 different lands or 6 different lands? I don't think we went too deep on these cards, but I kind of like them. I could see it. If I get lost for Fiend, it's just so much card advantage for them. I'm not sure what else I'm supposed to do right now. This is why we play Destroy Evil. Maybe my irrational hate for Get Lost is not that irrational after all. Did you try any Explore shells? Was Appraiser or the 6-color Dino? Explore. Why can't I think what you mean by Explore? Oh, Discover. Discover. What's the 6-color Dino already? Oh, the 7/6. No, not really. We did not. I don't think so. I'm trying to remember. I don't know, maybe because my teammates tried a lot of like stuff, but a lot of it didn't pass the Esper and Convoke test, I guess. We had to. We're like much faster to dismiss decks. And we didn't have as much time to try a bunch. Like, I didn't even have really time to try blue-black control because I was just happy with blue-white, and I figured the odds that blue-black's actually better. My reasoning was that Anchorage is like a busted card. Wandering Emperor is a busted card. All the white cards are really good. I mean, all the black cards are also really good, but... Okay, looks like corner has been turned. Despite a rough start. Hey, Denier. I do want to... I don't want to play Delusion to normalize here. I do want to get to play 3 steps ahead in Pioneer, so... I'm sure I will. I'm guessing next time when I play Pioneer again, the first deck I play will probably be some kind of control deck with Normalize or with 3 steps ahead. 7 inside is standard, yeah. That's probably mine, right? This means it's gonna go to my graveyards. I think I probably still want to counter it. Do you think 3 steps is better than Sabotage? After playing was 3 steps ahead, in standard anyways, I would guess 3 steps ahead is much better, yeah. Like, much better.
And I will protect my people.
Half my game have been against blue-white control decks very similar to yours. Well, Utah made top. Utah came second, and the PT was at least a little something to do with it too. But yeah, there's probably gonna. I'm not sure it's gonna be very enjoyable, unfortunately. But yeah, there's probably gonna be a lot of Blue-white control. It did well. It's really good. People like their control deck. Okay, so they have what going on? They have 2 Anchorage too. Speaking of Anchorage, I should probably do that right. Oh, I
Until next
thought I
time.
had Deluge mana. I'm gonna take a beating here. Log down just for a token. I'll keep it. This token also it might just be they might just top deck something else. Token's gonna get big. How many Miku secret lairs have you pre-ordered? What the hell is a Miku secret lairs? Where did these maps come from? Oh. Oh, they just have 8 mana? Just like almost dead. Did you also get the feeling that if you had some number of Jason to 75, you had been favorite in the domain? I mean, I do think my list is probably better against domain. You maybe got a little unlucky, but... Like, the extra cheap counters and spot removals are probably good against Esper and, like, in these flash games and stuff. I need a decent bit of help here. That's kind of exactly what I need to log down and deluge. That's nice. Alright, let's hope they didn't draw Normalize or Negate. They sell them. Dude, you have no idea. It was bad. I really did let them win. Like, unironically. It was bad. It's the worst I've played in a long time. I don't know why. Because I thought I ran pretty good, you know. Especially on day one, I didn't like mulligan a ton. I won a bunch of die rolls, I think. There was some really bad mistakes. Play Emperor on upkeep. I feel love Ren. I think I'm okay. You think? Emperor on upkeep. Oh, did I know about the negates? How do I know about... Oh, I didn't... Right. I should have Field of Ruin on my turn too, probably. Oh, that was not great. That's fine, chat. It's fine. I'm giving you a little glimpse of how I played last weekend. It was about as bad. Yeah, I can bid their negates. Surely you have to counter Deluge here, yeah. That's such a massive edge. I think I just cancel here. Give them a chance to attack with the Anchorage. PT was downtown Seattle, yeah. Seattle Convention Center. Incredible stuff cancel, yeah, nothing to see here. Totally, totally what I would do if... Alright, I'll try not to own myself this time. I promise. It was my own farewell. Well, I say I promise. I make no guarantees. Yeah, the side is,
New moves to teach
side was
you.
fine. It was nice that, big room for us. Like, there was a big screen, was the coverage, was a lot of chairs. Thursday night there was like players party with some good food. On Saturday night there was a players party. They had privatized part of an Irish pub. Was free food and a couple drink tickets for each of us. The food was good. Oh, it was really nice. Other cards are incense. It was just the lockdown cards. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. They have a bat on top. Not sure how much I care about the bats. Artifacts, creature, enchantments.
Let your blade do.
Yeah, there were spells. There were the cryptic code spells.
We've got the edge in this fight.
Or Deluge just chilling in the yards. Alright, we spotted them a game and it still wasn't enough. Dude, I can't believe I didn't just win this PT. The deck was so freaking good. Oh my god. I mean, not because I'm winning these two matches, but just... Even in testing, my teammates were like... Deck's great. Maybe I should stop playing this deck. It's just gonna make me upset. Like, I didn't try to convince anyone. But my teammates were like, deck looks good. You should definitely play it. Reed at one point was like, what are you gonna play? And he's like, probably the same thing you play. Reed was kind of on it. He wanted to play it, but I think he just got worried about either time or not playing the deck well enough. People are like, oh, it's just because it's Gab playing the deck, so it's like I'm balancing the stats, whatever. Nice compliment, I guess. Yeah, he was happy with his black-green list. I think if their results was black-green have not been good, he would have played blue-white, but I guess he was just happy enough with black-green. The time thing's kind of ironic. All the mid-range players ended up getting a bunch of draws. More than the control players, I think. Since the PD is over, will we enter the modern era soon? Yeah, Nintendo. Well, I'm probably going to my regional championships at the end of the month. So it might be a decent bit of standard until then. What are these numbers, Edgar? I don't see any of the MH3 leaks. I have, but let's not discuss them on stream, I guess. I'm not even sure how much it really makes sense not to discuss leaks on stream since kind of everyone kind of knows about it, but yeah, let's not. That's your cat sitting on his. Yeah. What's card availability? Let me see how many lands I have. 2 already. Card availability, a worry for a team was a short window from release at PT. At first, yeah, but then it seemed like there's a couple Seattle-based shop that like had decent inventory and stuff. So the winning list didn't have thingy, so I should just Tidebinder that migration probably. Seems pretty good. Not really so many dynamos. Like, yeah, I had like a French judge coming. He had a lot of cards. So me personally, I was really not worried. Plus, when I got on blue-white control and so no one else was gonna play it, I was like, you know, maybe it's if like all 13 of us had ended up playing like Teamer Nissa, maybe like getting the common fetch lands would have been scary, or getting like 50 copies of Nissa, but that's the case. No. But yeah, at first, obviously, you know. How do you like the analyst matchup? I think overall it's fine. I can't tell you exactly. I know game 1 is pretty abysmal. I think going in the PT, I had never lost a game 1 from the Nissa side or never won a game 1 from the blue-white side. And I played it twice at the PT, and first time I lost game 1, and I don't want to counter that. I don't think pressuring them is like, trying to pressure them is very smart. But if I sag the clue, I will have to discard to hand size. Counter it, I guess. Yeah, I lost game 1. I actually got paired against Miguel Samuels, which I feel like during the online era had my number. I feel like he beat me a lot. So I got a bit of revenge. And then I won the 2 sideboard games. Then on day 2, I actually won game 1, which he stumbled on lands, which is the only way you win. He went turn 3 Nissa. I marched it, was pitching a lockdown. And then he went Spelunking, no force lands on turn 4, and I played a Wandering Emperor and then drew a couple counters, and Wandering Emperor killed him. And then I won the sideboard game. And I think Seth won the matchup twice. Seth got ridiculously lucky in Seth ways. So day 2, he's down a game, I think. He's at 14. His opponent has the green virtue in play at 9 lands, so like 27 mana.
May your blade strike true.
His opponent plays the Hermit back from the graveyards, so his spells are uncounterable. And he goes, Rage You for 14. And Sev just goes, Flashing Wandering Emperor, -2 on my Shark, gain 2, go to 2, and then he just won that game, and then he won the 3rd game. Just like, I don't know, the shit people do against Seth is just unreal. I don't know how he does it, but yeah. What do you think of a PT where players bring 3 decks with them and each player gets to ban a deck and you get to choose from the other 2? I don't know, it doesn't sound like the worst idea, I guess. Sounds like kind of cool, but also you can't expect people like to get 3 decks in paper. It's like, what's next? Like vintage PTs where you have to bring on a bunch of power 9 and stuff. Doesn't sound very realistic.
Keep watch for intruders.
And these games have been kind of easy, honestly. They keep being easy. I keep expecting to stumble, or maybe I'm running good, but no, it's just... Given any power 9 in paper, dude, I have the biggest collection of alpha and beta power 9 in the world. You didn't know I had like stacks and stack of them. Have you never watched a stream before? Why, you want to rob me?
Bonjour, Monsieur Couvre, Chef Color Soleil.
And like, when somebody, and your French is like incredible. I didn't know you were fluent. Over 100k copies of Center. I did not see that. No, sounds kind of gas though. I'll give the farewell for sure. And then just another 3 steps ahead, I guess. I'm gonna use farewell. I'm getting to the point where I think I should just be creatures and Shaman artifacts. I think I should just be counting every herd migration so they can't just go herd migration and then uncountable Maiden's Recruiter. Wait, did I not do artifacts? Am I drunk? I did graveyards? Nice. Jesus Christ. Fine, Chad, it's fine. Memory Village Flashback's not even that good in this deck. Dude, I'm struggling with Farewell. Maybe I should not put that card in my deck. Again, like, it's facts that it's the best deck in Standard. Look at the results from the PT. I'm not like you. I'm not a dirty clickbaiter. It was the best win rate at the PT out of all the decks played by more than like 2 players. I would never try and clickbait people.
Back to wandering.
So yeah, as described in my blue-white guide in detailed precision, this is exactly how game ones have been playing out for me. It's just easy. You don't even have to counter attracts. It's happened to me at the PT. I didn't even counter an attract, so I was like, alright, you can have attract, so I'll just save my counters for herd, because the only way I could lose was like herd plus Imadane's Recruiter. Man, maybe I should charge more for people from Europe, just because I don't want to have to. I'm gonna have to play against a bunch of blue-white mares at the RC now. Sounds dreadful.
I've learned much.
$5 or euros if you live outside of Europe, and like
I am almost
500
sad to see
500 euros if you're competing in RC Naples. Can I charge premium for Canadians this week? Dude, I already gave you the tech to be blue-whites. It's Jover. I'm just helping you out. Oh, 4 over. I might have to like play some nonsense for the mares. It was only okay, really? It's really good for me when I was trying that card. Just okay. Dinosaur, Angel. Okay. Yeah, what am I supposed to do here? Just get lost the thing, I guess. What is it? Oh, it wouldn't be a secret tech if I told you, would it? Oh, I played the challenge on Thursday 3 p.m. or Friday 5 p.m. Definitely not Friday. Thursday. I think we're recording the podcast on Thursday evening, so probably not. I'm sure at some point I'll play some of these like new time challenges, but not this week. Or is in the mirror tech? Is horror even good in the mirror?
In this fight.
Between Get Lost and March? I mean, obviously it's like not bad, but I guess you just wait till you have 1 billion mana. Yeah, horror's probably just pretty good. The high bar when I already never lose a match. Yeah, sure. Right, these games do go long. Would you wait till you have like 10 mana so you can save your horror from a Get Lost or a March? I might just let them have it.
I'll be back.
That's right, Ava interrupter in the sideboard. I saw some mention it could get around Cavern and you can counter the following turn. Oh, that's interesting. I never thought about that interaction. No, I did not. In Tidebinder is like pretty good against stone counterroll stuff. And in this matchup, I'd just rather have C double, I think. I should have Deluge in response, maybe try and hit a C double. That would have been fun.
Welcome back, Yellow Hat Pigeons.
Hey, Deboogie. Thanks for the 47 months. Welcome back to me. Welcome back, everyone. I'm not sure if it makes sense for me saying other people welcome back to this stream. What I mean, let's see. Wandering Emperor. I'll just take lands. Taking lands is good. If I looked at Pioneer Dimir Control with Jade's Valky. Oh no, I have not. How has that been? How's the whole like plotting Valky deck's been? I've not looked at any list recently. Is it good or is it too clunky? Doesn't look like it's dominating Pioneer at any rate. I feel like I would have seen more of it on Twitter and stuff. Oh, so someone shared their blue-black list already? Pipion, it was you, and I just remembering now. If you want to share the list again, I'll take a look now. Because, like, talking about other things and in a match and stuff. I don't think that's the link you wanted to share. Here, ass, that's somebody. I don't know what this is. I'm just going to delete it just in case. Some very sensitive information. So what was it? Was it blue-black standard or blue-black? Or blue-black pioneer? Oh, it's serial list of Chase. Seems like a lot to try and fit in Narset Days on doing and Jade's Valky in the same deck. Sounds a little greedy to me. Because do they even work well together? Our set doesn't even find Valky. Is there like some overlap? Be the truth. This spell was cast from anyone. Wait, what's the combo with? Oh, it's Seed of Truth with Jace. Okay, that's kind of cool, I guess. Plot Seed of Truth. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's my first. Also, your deck is like at least 2 lands short. You're just cheating on mana. Yeah, your deck is like probably 2 lands short, and I probably wouldn't try and play like both Narset and doing NG. I would focus on the Jace Valky thing. Alright, you can set up Narset, Days Undoing with Jace. Yeah, well, I think... I'll fiddle this, sorry. I think you should... If you're gonna put all these cards in your deck, you can't also have, like... Cedar Tree is probably greedy, but maybe... You can't have 3 steps. You need all your cards to cost 1 or 2 mana, I think. Would be my guess. You can't on top. Your deck's like way too expensive, like 4 free steps ahead and stuff. You want to keep the board as clear as possible the first 2 turns of the game, or first 3 turns of the game. 3 steps ahead's just too expensive. I would just play all 1 and 2 mana interaction. Probably, I don't know. More cantrips? I mean, ideally, in cantrips you're not really impacting the board with cantrips, but you do want to find your combo. I don't know stuff. Also, not playing any dig is like a little sad, I guess. Even if that card is like a later game card, it's pretty powerful. I'd maybe play 4 Consider, just to try and find your combo. Also, I would probably play 4 Valky. I guess 3 steps ahead lets you recycle the extra Valkys. I don't know, it's tough. But your deck definitely looks a little... No. It looks all off in a few ways. If your other Valky was on Jace, you feel awful. I mean, there are worse plays than 2 mana Valky. Censor? Yeah, I think Censor is good. It's just cheap interaction. I think censoring Pioneer is good. I mean, people who watch this stream probably know that. How much I love Censor in Pioneer. I think it just lines up really well. Dude. How many cards do you have left? 16? Oops. Oh, are they baiting me? Like, by the way. Yeah, I'll take a look at your Esper deck. What 1 mana interaction do you play besides Push? Oh, just more 2 mana interactions. I guess maybe some an Edict or 2, or more 2 mana removal, or a negate, or just anything really. I'd maybe just play 4 Consider, or Consider and a 1 or 2 dig for time. Just try and find my combo. I don't like stuff. Hey Maul, wow, tier anniversary, let's go. Thanks for the support. Good morning, good morning. So how do we sideboard? Log down the pop laid out. And this spot removal kind of stinks. Jace can go. You could keep Jason. I don't think you really need it after sideboards. So I talked a bit about it in my guide. I think like in game one, Wandering Emperor is not like super good, but when you have Tidebinder in your deck, it becomes better. March is so expensive. I'll do the Get Lost. One interaction is you Tidebinder their Stomper, they don't get the land, but then have a 4/4 that can attack you directly. And then Wandering Emperor lets you either exile it or fight your Tidebinder was a Stomper, so that can come up, I think, sometimes. Oh. Did you try calling me? Is my phone Damn, sorry. Oops. Alright, well, I'll be right back. It looks like our opponent might be catching a break here. It's I'll be right back. Alright, we did it. To help my wife with her bag, she just got back from the States. Okay, let's see if we can beat the nuts. Beanstalk into Stomper. I see chat was trolling while I was gone. Oops. If I win this game, I'm declaring the matchup a bye. Mulligan, Beanstalk into Stomper. Not even drawing any of my sideboard cards. I think I should counter this. It's all much. Like in game one, them having two Beanstalks not that scary. But when they get to draw into negates and stuff, I think that card's a bit better. The CPU put back Sea Devil for the Milligan did it. That's kind of funny. How do you feel about the structure of the PT from a qualification perspective? I'm not the best person to ask since I don't really have to qualify. I think it's fine. Given, you know, given the prize money Wizards is willing to invest and trying to keep the PT at a really reasonable size. Seems okay to me. If you want to bring up like specific points you have issues with, you know, can always discuss it. Respect the cat. Thank you for the raid. Hope you had a good stream. Welcome everyone. Playing all standard. Should I respect the cat's probably gonna be playing some standard now. Going to the RC maybe? RC in Italy at the end of the month. Sick privilege. I mean, that's true. I just general thoughts. I think the system is reasonable. Just hard to please everyone, and you can also come. Alright, sorry. God, get lost is so bad in this matchup. Not so bad, but I see this Trivial is just much better. The mirror control. I could. I might if I start having issues with blue-whites. Blue-black could be good. I could see it. Blue-black has some cool tools. The white cards are so good though, and Anchorage is so much better than the blue-black dual lands.
I hope you're ready to lose.
Invasion. Invasion was duelists. I saw Croaky's playing a blue-black list
See you
before the
later.
PT.
You must
It's kind of
protect
clever.
people.
Just having all your cards that cost more than 3 be like 2-for-1s or 3-for-1s. He was like all cheap cards, and then he was playing blue-black invasion and for free hostile investigator as his 4-drop. So like removal was not the greatest against his list. I don't know if he played that deck some more. I mean, the deck looks like kind of nonsense, honestly. Unless there's some crazy combo I'm missing. Lively Dirge? Oh man, this card's acceptable, right? Let's see. Oh, I'll just use a No More Lies. There's a combo. Oh. Land drops are good, but kind of need to find a deluge. Thoughts on the Kibler deck? I haven't really seen it in action, played Wizard against it. I actually got paired against him, that's not true. I got paired against him in the pre-release event, the Arena Stream pre-release event, and he beat me bad in a best-of-1 game. It's probably pretty mid, you know. It's probably fine, but not great. It's, you know, judging by his results.
Anyone who harms my people must contend with me.
Tiny Bone kills them, it's infinite mill and damage. What's the loop?
Our swords will cross at will. Keep watch for intruders.
I don't get it. Invasion of Amonkhet, copying a god, dying to legend rule, and returning to the battlefield flipped. Copying a god, dying to legend rule. Hey Bruno, I'm not playing Myrex because it never came up for me in testing. It was just useless. And the mana is all tricky because you have double blue and double white on turn 3. I mean, I'm assuming I'm wrong because I'm assuming, you know, because of the caliber of Yuda and Shoda would not play Myrex after testing a bunch if it felt like that card never helped them win the game, but I will say I was mostly testing against mid-range decks and
Yes, that's it.
aggro decks in testing for the most part, so
Your blades strike true.
I've literally played like zero control mirrors. But yeah. In blue-black it's different. I could see being good in blue-black because you don't have the Wandering Emperor. The bad idea to kill Beanstalk here. I don't know, I'm not paying attention to the game really. It's usually a bad idea to kill Beanstalk, yeah, especially game 1. Sideboard's all different. Maybe I should have. I don't know, Hearsay, your list is too weird for me to have, like, a real informed opinion, I guess. Oh. I thought I had 2 free steps ahead, and I'm just blind, apparently. I think I should be okay, though. Huh? Looks like he tested versus Reed a bunch, because how much his green-black deck seems skewed versus control. Yeah, dude, the matchup was horrendous for them before that, and even after he made all the changes, we only played one more match, but I beat him 2-1. I don't think that's why the early looks the way it is. That he just didn't like the bats in testing. He even in other matchups he kept thinking bat was just not that great. Another trivially easy win against Domain. Okay, I need to know, why did it go so poorly for... Why did it go so poorly for Utah? Ever since these cards have been legal, it's just never been a good strat to bring in horror against someone who has leyline binding. Oh no. Mirror match. Oh god. Can I just farm some more domain players? I mean, I guess I should be okay playing a control mirror, right? And what is wrong with me? No more lies, it's 2 mana. Why did I think, like, in their upkeeps... I don't know what just happened, but whatever. That was awkward. What was I thinking? I need to cast this before they get to 4 mana? I don't even know. Now they get to resolve Wandering Emperor first, which... might be okay because I have March in hands.
Then we must protect the people.
But they have Anchorage.
I've learned much during my travel. May your blade strike true.
Oh yeah, I could have killed it with Anchorage. Dude, I'm just sleep at the wheel. Oh my god. Not great.
I've got new moves to teach you.
Let's go.
Such goose. What's up, Z Games? Thanks for the 32 months. Appreciate that. Yeah, we're recording the podcast. Cannister's on vacation, so it'll just be me and Get Smart, but we're gonna do like kind of PT recap and stuff. Alright, well, what now? Just quit while I'm behind. Get rid of their Wandering Emperor. Lose mine.
Show them how we greet our enemies. Our swords will cross again.
That was pretty unfortunate because my draw was really good and now I'm just...
Until next time, then.
Drop hole is nice. Alright, that's a pretty big deal. Getting their first deluge there was no more lies. You should be patient unless you have another one. Maybe even then. Chase. It's not even that good for them having Encourage, but I want them to tap out at least if they want to fight over it.
Surrender your mind to Phyrexian's
Hey,
will.
Buffalo and H. Horror against Domain sounds pretty bad, because they have Binding. And against Teamer, I could see that card being good against Teamer game 1, yeah. Makes sense.
No secret escapes my grasp.
And obviously it's going to be pretty good against Control. Yeah, I mean, could be the meta. Could be the meta that you just want to play for main. Domain, I don't know, Domain's been trivially easy. As long as they don't change their lists and don't play like weird stuff in Domain, you don't need to do anything special to beat Domain. Bit of airport gab. Wait, airport? Where are you? Oh, you hit your connection in Europe? Amsterdam, cool. Alright, they have a delusion at yard. When did that happen? I guess I won't tap out. And then added bonus of not jamming my delusion to Dare No More Lies. No, I would feel like didn't do quite well enough for the next PT, unfortunately. Sad. Should get depopulated. These maps I'm gonna lose. Terrible. People are talking about food. It's 2 and I haven't had lunch yet. I get lunch after this game. The gang's here, yeah. It's gas. It's nice to be back. I guess I'll let them resolve Deluge. Didn't seem like they had it. How do you even get ahead in this map? Like, seems like even if you get a little ahead, maybe your opponent can catch up eventually. Maybe not, though. Should be using my field over in sooner, too. Played this game pretty poorly, for sure. Did I get good food in Seattle? Nah. There was a good hole in the old Korean place. We were staying in an Airbnb and it was one of the only places that were walking distance. And it was really good. But when we were in downtown Seattle, the food was, I guess, where did I eat? Thursday night, I didn't really have dinner. Which might be one of the reasons why I didn't play super well on Friday. Friday night, we just went to the Hilton bar, just had a burger there, whatever, just decent, bar foods. Good quality bar food, but nothing special. And Saturday night was the Wizards party. They had rented out part of an Irish pub and there was food and drinks, and the food was really good. It was like just, you know, family style food, like big things, but it was good quality and well cooked and stuff. I enjoyed it. And that was it. I didn't. Oh, we went to the market on Thursday, I guess, Pike Market, and we got food from the barbecue place that's in there. That was good. Just good barbecue foods. But yeah, no, this time around I didn't get. I mean, the food I had was good, but I didn't go to like anywhere special, I'd say. Gab refused to bust some moves. Well, you should have gone to the after party. You should have. We went out like it closed at midnight, and we went out. Went out to nightclub after that. All right, Animus probably in. All the flash creatures negate. I don't think C double is very good. And then just board out the sweepers basically. Let's play the PTQ. Did you play your deck again, or did you play something different? Or did you not have anything else? Should have barred blue-white control. What should the last cut be here? I can see Jace not even being that good. It's just so fragile. Playing Pioneer, no up-to-date Pioneer deck. Maybe 3 steps ahead's just good, and just play a control deck with 3 steps ahead. Hey, Alex. When's your RC, Alex? Are you going? Are you qualified? Well, I'm the worst husband, and my phone, I'm like, how did I not hurt? My phone wasn't even on. The hell? So who called me this? Okay, 28, that's same as mine. That's dude, you did. It was. I just threw. My luck was. I was saying if I'd like played as well as I did in Chicago, or if Simon or Javier or Reed or whoever you want to pick was playing my seed, they would have top 8'd that PP. I think. I definitely had above average luck. It's kind of a bummer.
This is the third PT in a row where I said if you don't win I would unsub. 10 or 20 more non-wins and I might actually do it.
Need to be careful. I'll win the next one. I'll win either the next one or World Acidic, I promise. Any cool record for casual dining lunch that you know? I mean, I can give you the few places I know, but I'm not an expert, and I would just trust TripAdvisor. Can give you the same 2 recommendations I give to everyone, but next is Amsterdam, yeah. Damn, they know. They know about the flanker tech for the mirror. Damn it. Did I hang out with Kenji? Not sure which Kenji you're talking about, but neither Numa nor Kenji Tsumura were there. Happy birthday, Alex. Numa? I don't think he was there. Did you like the PT being really close to set release? Not especially, but it was the same for everyone, right? It was stuff for everyone, so. I played a white here. I expect I'm gonna have to counter something, and I guess I could have played that, have no more lives plus Sack of Clue. It is loose. But I don't think it was ideal. I think PT being 1 week after is a bit better. It gives people more time to practice. And I think one thing that happened is that people didn't try to innovate as much as they might have otherwise, just because of time constraints. That's kind of the case for us a bit. Alright, I think I'm gonna say go stack some clues and then I'll be able to plot Animus and not discard to hand size. Try the white black Bronco and that deck is sweet. Yeah, it doesn't look that great on paper, but Reed lost it in the last round and he felt like he could never lose in a million years. Just his cards were much better in the mid-range mirror, kind of, but he got pretty unlucky. Like there is enough time to test with them properly. Feels like the tighter timing discourages exploration of new cards. Yeah. I think that makes sense, and I think that's what happens. What happened? Yeah, it did have a good record. Maybe there's... I really want to make a lane drop. I'm also fine if they want to counter that. To be fair, I'm not sure people are really gonna find anything like super great or special, even with extra time, but we'll see. Let's see what happens at the RCs. Might need that again, show. Yeah, no, I should have played it, right? That's silly. Baelish to Bug, you think is super strong? I think my teammates played one in black-green. I can't imagine that card being like anything special, though. It's a fine card, but... I'm not sure that's what's really missing from standard decks. What do you cut from the main to fit that card? It's like... Isn't Dust Bowl better than Field? I don't think Dust Bowl is legal. It's like in these special sheets, but it's not actually legal in standard. And Macy's right. Welcome to the chat. He was like, Gab, why are you not playing Mana Drain? Seems better than No More Lies. Or is the Exile that important?
I'm not overconfident.
I have Fractured Identity too. Alright, hopefully Dust Animus can hold the board for a bit. Should I even try and get lost to Wandering Emperor? Probably right. I think maybe that was bad. Yeah, I supposed to keep enough mana to have Wandering Emperor plus counter. I might just let them have it if they counter it, honestly.
Hello, Gab. I hope you enjoy the PT.
A Chainer Mage. I did. I wish I played better, but it was a fun tournament. What was my second choice of deck for the PT? I didn't really have one. I was kind of soft locked on blue-white the whole time, doing well the whole time, so I never had a reason to. But out of the decks my team played, I would have played the black-green deck, I guess, if I could pick. I wasn't sure it was the best one, because they didn't get to test their finalists a lot, but I liked the look of it. I thought it looked good and cool. I'm just gonna jam a Wandering Emperor. They might have removal for Dust Animus, but at least it means I have a Wandering Emperor in play. Unless they have counter plus removal, in which case I'm screwed, but... What's my favorite PT memory of all time? I don't know, it's a tough one. Me just winning my first Team Pro Tour, you know, finally winning a Pro Tour. Also, as a team, always kind of cool. Always sweeter when it's a team effort. The team tournaments are fun. My results was constructed. I went 6-4 in constructed, but I could have almost definitely won at least 2 of these matches, maybe a third one. I made some mistakes, I think, in every match I lost in Constructed. I punted against a Japanese player who made top 8 too. Not Utah, not the two that were in the finals, the third one, I forget his exact name. I don't want to butcher it. We were, what, 1-0? 1-1 in the draft? And I played heinous against him in game 3. 3 cards left, and have Dust Animus. Yeah, the Convoke player.
I am the Emperor of Kamigawa, and I will protect my people.
Dust Animus was really good for me, which kind of makes sense. 2 mana plot, and then you play it, and you're kind of cheating on mana and stuff.
Let your blade do the talking. Guards, to me!
The game's not over yet. I still have time to catch up. Time Miner, yeah. Alright, I can go attack with Samurai. Dude, Malix. I've not been playing well today, I'm just kind of hanging out. Just chatting. Chatting. Oh, okay. Well, I guess this guy gets through. Jeskai control was Heinen. I did not try Jeskai. I did not try Esper. I don't think adding a color makes sense. The gain is just not going to be worth it. Heinen is just nothing special. I would play, you know, if there was a card that said a white and a 1, or even a blue and a white lightning strike, or even lightning helix, even better. But if that card, I would probably play that card, you know, a blue and a white, 3 damage to anything. But I also don't think it's worth it to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Also don't think it's worth it to stretch your mana base for what red has to offer. Why did you guys decide no Jace perfected mine? He was good for me during standard season and closing him very fast, which the deck needed. I was playing 1, I have 1 in my deck. I think it's fine, I think it's nice against domain. But I don't think it's great overall. I think besides domain, it's just not that great, I guess. Jace is good versus Teamer. I don't think it's that good against Teamer. Or maybe you have to play multiple. 1 is not enough. 1 Jace was never enough to mill them in testing. If they're careful, it's not that hard for them to kill you. And in control mirrors, it is pretty good, yeah. But I didn't expect control. And 1 Jace is enough against domain. I should have flanked in their upkeep, maybe. My hairstylist, my pillow. My pillow is my hairstylist. My hair is gotta look bad right now. I need a haircut bad. Not bad, but I do need a haircut. It's been a while. Did you feel like your team had any edge in draft with card evaluation that are interesting? No, I don't think we had any hot takes or anything like that. We didn't. I was compiling the results. We didn't do that well. We went 53.7% in limited and 55.4 in constructed, which is not very good for us, I guess. So I don't know if our testing was not great or what, but yeah. We did find out that in our on in-house draft, I think white green was not doing well, and dude, I can't count. That's twice today. I miscount my mana. I would have not paid the kick on that. Thought I had 2 more for some reason. Can't count 7 apparently. Hey Jaiko, what's up, buddy? I guess looking at the data, I was like super off blue, especially blue whites. But after, I don't know, I was kind of like, no, I ended up, I mean, yeah, I would have been fine with anything at the PT, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Just seemed like every color combo was potentially fine. I don't think teams are that advantaged in draft anymore with all the drafting online and public data. Yeah, I agree. Definitely helps evening out the playing field. Which is probably a good thing. Bad thing for me, but good thing overall. Oh wait, I was doing getting back my Wandering Emperor. What am I doing?
I've learned much during
I mean, this
my
is not the worst either. I
Let
like
me show you.
plenty of Wandering Emperors, I
Remember your
guess.
training.
C double is for Tron. Tron. The main 7 mana spell. Traxa. You can copy in a Traxa. I got to do it in the PT, that was my favorite part. I even got to use my own token to do it. Yeah, I mean, I made enough mistakes that I might actually get punished and lose here. That's kind of a comedy of errors at the end there. What made you play blue-white over blue-black? How close are the two? I played blue-white because I started with blue-white. It was a new set. And I kept doing well, so I never looked back. But it's possible blue-black is better. Also had previous experience in the last set of blue-black struggling a decent bit against Convoke. I was worried about the matchup. But there was so little time, I didn't really have time to test blue-black. Just focused on... is flanker still good? Not sure. Forge. Combi Forge. You have Tidebinder and you can erase it. Maybe it was the creatures. But yeah, I lost to Forge in the last round of the PT. I played against a mono red deck with 4 Forge in the main deck. Game 1 is tough. I thought I would be okay after sideboard, but I drew kind of poorly in game 2.
Now you've done it. That's coming. Strike fast and strike hard.
Hey, what's up, Rhino? Good old Siege Rhino. Invade their field of burn after Tidebinder.
I have got new moves to teach you.
Alright, that's not enough. Kind of obvious F Tidebinder, I guess. Azorius, thank you for your Prime sub. Look at this sewer. What is his version of domain exactly? Because I know we were testing S for mid against domain, and a lot of my teammates played S for mid and didn't feel too bad about the matchup. So he cuts the battles, and he was playing a few more sweepers, long goodbye main, and then 3 more long goodbye in the sideboards. Yeah, I think overall the domain players played domain because they thought they had a good S for mid-range matchup. What was the worst deck jankiest brew that you tried for the PT? I didn't have time to try that many jank. I tried a kind of bad version of black-green with a lot of creatures in it. I can't remember. Let me check our Discord, see if I can find I didn't try anything too like out there, honestly. We tried some cage decks. We tried a bunch of different legends deck. We tried like cage was like token creatures. The pirates deck, oh, the pirates deck was cool. I was hoping we played that pirates deck. Just blue-red pirates, just all the good pirates and some interaction. Tommy actually played it in the PTQ on Sunday, he went 3-2. That deck was pretty good, honestly. That was probably like the best deck we built out of the like
You're going to rest
or not like just stock decks, I guess. Not a field effort. Did you have the Jitte? I think some of our lists like one Jitte. The final list didn't though. I don't know what I'm doing this game. Really call me that great, but I think I'm still okay, right?
Strike fast and strike hard.
What do you think of the Bronco deck? I haven't seen it in action. Pretty better than it looks, whatever that means. All the good pirates with 16 in deck. Funny. Dude, the pirates are pretty sick. I don't know what you're talking about. Breaches is a super messed up cards. Play it next, the pirate deck. Maybe I'll play it if I get to Mythic. I don't even know why I would want to get to Mythic, honestly. Oh, I should have mailed that Death Field over in play.
How foolish.
Did you test any more all-in crime decks? We had some crime decks. I didn't put too much time in it. I made like a mono black version of mid-range crime kind of.
The data requires scrutiny.
Your team tried to play more black heavy versions of Esper with Gix and Preacher. Seems like most teams ended on a version with more Virtue and Wedding instead. I can't remember honestly. I'm guessing they did somewhat, but they were pretty high on the enchantments. I think the enchantments were really good. I think Nathan, like playing Nathan was not. What else? Yeah, White Virtue's pretty messed up card. It's good in the mirror too. I guess Gia.
Remember your training.
I guess Gia did play the enchantments, or at least not Wedding. Frenchies did okay too. Kind of artifact list in center will gain traction. I have no idea, honestly. I doubt it. But I'm ready. I have my one farewell just in case. It's funny, when we said it was artifact, I was like, oh no. And then Seth actually got paired against the artifact deck on day one. And he just, he just cast farewell both games, and it was just a joke. And then I was like, would you have been okay with that farewell? And he was like, hell no. He kind of laughed and like shook his head, so. So did I make enough mistakes that I'm actually gonna end up losing this game, or? Okay. That's that I probably overlooked. That card seems quite good. You can bring in a lot of matchups. Yeah.
I am the Emperor of Kamigawa, and I will protect my people.
What do you think about your own matchup against Fritzek? Dude, I was beating them so badly in testing. It was a joke. Their last version was actually like okay. I think he did beat Blue White in the tournament. But the like stock version was bad. Then like like the stock version they were playing at first was like bats, one duress, no lily, literally just a pile of creature. The deck was all creature removal and one duress. It was the easiest matchup I've ever played in my life. By the end, it was a little tougher. That like. The free duress, free Bronco. It was still okay, like, but much closer. And then they added the hostile investigator to their sideboard and stuff. Also, Jace is randomly insane against that deck because it just lines up really well against Glitza.
Guards, to me!
Yeah, I don't know how good Jace is against Esper. I don't have enough reps, but against Glitz is nice. Black white too. I just flashed in Wandering Emperor now. Start making tokens. I don't have that anchorage. How many deluge gone? 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice.
them how we greet our
Can I get a
enemies.
Labrador and get a duck cam for it? Wow, that sounds like a great idea, actually. Maybe I will. How do you feel about my performance at the PT? Pretty bad. I played really poorly. I played the worst I've played in a long time. I was a little disappointed. Wow, the turn 20, no more lies, good beats. Wait, why did he draw cards? I don't know what it is. Do I have a win con left? I have a few. When do you start to prepare for the Modern Pro Tour? Probably after my RC, if I go. What do you think the best deck is? I think it's blue whites. It's right now it's not especially close, I feel. I think deck's just great. Just like no bad matchups. I mean, no more lights left. I don't know if I can take getting no more light again. Played in the game. I have a few left too. What's my favorite modern deck right now? I'm not sure. I like the Living End version, was the free one. This was kind of cool. But I don't know.
You don't need a Labrador, you already have that dog in you.
Okay. I'm gonna take it as a compliment. Thanks for the resub, him who has risen. Appreciate it. Is the teamer matchup good for blue white? Teamer matchups game one's not that great, but sideboard games are pretty good. I don't know. We went 4-0 against it at the PT with Seth, but I agree. It's like tough matchup. Like game one is really, really bad. This version might be okay. Game one, I have one Tidebinder, one Farewell, and maybe the Jace can get them, but maybe it's not as bad as maybe game one's not as bad as I thought it was still. Do I not like the modern meta right now? Not sure. If I counter it, you can just do it again. Or maybe I want to do it just to tap them out because I have no more lives in hands. Seems hard for them to like pay 3 more mana and have a removal spell and be able to pay for the removal spell. Oh, I totally got. Oh, that's enough. All despite playing horrendously the entire match. I don't know, they could have no more lives. I don't know how I won that game because I made so many mistakes and it seemed like they were playing fine. Just got really lucky. So I have some leftovers. Honor Mirror. Maybe the Utah version was Darker Waste. I might get them with the one Minor Field of Ruin. If they don't do it right away, they might not do it because they might be worried that then I get to play Wandering Emperor, so actually you can't really use Field of Ruins in these spots. Kiki Padrapa, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. Welcome back, or welcome to the sewer. I could counter that. But I'm kind of chilling. I have my land drops, I have a Tidebinder, I have my clue. Rather save no more lives for the first deluge. Oh. Okay, there's something completely different. I thought about that card just because of so in testing I guess it turned out it seems like the domain matchup's just kind of a buy, but I was worried about the haste stuff. And as an answer to the haste stuff, the recruiter, I was thinking Final Showdown could be cool. That card's probably really good against domain. I mean, Sunfall's good enough, I think, but that card kind of cool against domain. So what are they playing? Just blue-white cards I own? Yeah, should keep some sweeper. I would bring in the Tidebinders and the negate. Might not bring in the flankers though. I'll bring in Dust Animus too. I guess I'll cut the sweepers anyways. I've been looking at the lakes, yeah, but we don't talk about lakes here. For better or worse, rather not. I think CW just for Traxa decks. So at the PT, our plan was to bring in it against Teamer as well. But I think with this specific list, I already have too many cards against Teamer. So I don't think I... So right now, it's only for domain, yeah. It might be overkill though. The games today have been really easy against domain. Another one is obnoxious. Hey Ted, good morning. Hey C Drino. Who asked me that question earlier? Someone else asked me that question. I still have no clue what you're all talking about. Macy tried to explain me, but it was a wall of text and I didn't read it. Sorry, Macy. What am I supposed to do here? Things saying go, hoping they don't have a counter for my Wandering Emperor is a decent line. Looks like they do though. Maybe I should have let them have their 2/2/2s. I'd have a Wandering Emperor and it's even worse for me. It's funny. They're also plotting. The Vocaloid, one of the first one ever. I don't know what the Vocaloid is. Sounds cool though. Happy for you. We're sorry it happened. Oh, that's so sick actually. It's such a... Jovan pick. Thank you. I'm like Jose, I'm pretty, not as disappointed as Jose because he didn't requalify, but I only went 9-7, and I think I should have done much better was how well I drew and how good the deck was, but thank you. Boarding out all my sweepers against a creature deck, smart. And they even have Myrex. Just to add to my problems. These maps are gonna get me. And it kind of just lives if they have a spell on top, right? I think they should. Oh, maybe not. I need like double march or something silly. All my cards seem pretty good in the matchup. I guess Titanbinder's kind of mid. They just all lockdowns. My Captain Silly Jace. Like there's a lot of Miku enjoyers in chat. Alright, chat. I'm listening. What's your... If you could pitch to Wizards, a Secret Lair partnership, what would you go as? That Cinemas has been pretty good so far. Secret Lair and the Yellowhat. Favorite animes. The regular art was a Yellowhat on them. It's very exciting. Secret Lair, Elden Ring, Dark Souls. Disney, Secret Lair, Gachi. I'm Seems like we put some thought into it already. Secret Lair was Labradors. Like that one. Secret Lair Mad Max. Nice. Stormlight Archive. I don't even know what Stormlight Archive is. Paulus Academy Secret Lair. Thanks. XDDing Secret Lair. Wow, I am in. Take my money. Secret Lair Australia. I just all snakes and spiders. Yeah, just all deadly animals. It is kind of weird. I didn't think about it because you cast it and then they do something in response and you can't counter it, or else the thing doesn't work that well. Secret Lair Pro Tour champions and money goes to Pro Tour prize support. Yeah, it is a little weird they don't do that, as in skins on Arena and when they have big tournaments and you could buy skins, like was the PT and stuff. I think I'm gonna let them have it. The one token's not too friendly. No. If they want to tap out for a virtue, I guess that's also fine. Might be playing too passive, but also just feel like my deck plays much better than them in these kind of games. If they want to play the flash game and then not tap outing. I think I have more lands, I have Memory Deluge and Deduce, so I think it's pretty hard for them to beat me at this game. But they also have Memory Deluge. Okay. They didn't keep it on top? Oh. Weird. You also have hard counters, you do. Sure, you don't just have sweepers in their deck, right? Their last card in hand. What was my favorite match I played at the PT? The main match was kind of cool because I thought I was losing game one and I was almost like considering scooping early on because you got off to a really good start. And I didn't play the matchup a ton, so I didn't realize, like, I guess how good it was. And I didn't have to panic. And then game 2, I got to copy an Atraxa. It was all embarrassing for him. I copied an Atraxa, was C double. And he attacked his Atraxa into my Atraxa when he knew I had Wandering Emperor in hand, so I just played it, plussed it, and gave mine first strike. I think I would have won anyways. I don't think it mattered at that point, but so that match was kind of cool.